Okay, here the recording in progress. I'll share the screen. Okay, so we're down to the last regular day before the test tomorrow. Reminder, the test is tomorrow, not Friday. We decided on that already. Okay. My formal lecture today is going to be very short. There's hardly any material that I have new. And then after that, I'll let you ask questions. And if there aren't any questions, we're going to quit fairly early. Okay, so tomorrow's test, last regular tests on the parabola, the ellipse, the hyperbola, parametric equations. This is the homework. Okay, so as soon as class is over today, you can start submitting the homework. But if not, as usual, you have until half an hour after the test to submit the exam. So tomorrow's test is a quote unquote regular test. I'll send the exam a little bit after 9 o'clock or around 9, a little after 9. You will join the Zoom session as usual. You know the rules by now. Have your cameras on, true background, keep yourself muted. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll close the Zoom at 10 o'clock. Then you have until 10:05 a.m. to submit the exam and until 10:30 to submit the homework. Friday, it's just, let's make it office hour. You can come or not. I'll just answer questions if you have any. And our final exam is Monday, the 13th, 8:10 to 10:40 a.m. Again, please notice the starting time is 8:10, not 9:10. I hope I've said it enough in case somebody says, oh, I didn't know it was 8:10. I think I've said it at least 3 times, 4 times, whatever. I can check the videos for that. But 8:10 to 10:40. And the most likely scenario is I'll ask 3 questions from every test. 3 times 6 is 18. So expect 18 questions on the final exam and maybe 2 from somewhere else, grand total of 20. And to review for the final exam, just study the old exams. Again, my recommendation is Friday. I would ask you to study test 1 and 2, Saturday 3 and 4, Sunday 5 and 6. Then you're ready for the final exam. Okay, go for the solutions videos. So the videos are always the day after the test. So Saturday, September 4th would have been the video for exam 1. Friday, September 18th for exam 2, and so on. And you will get the video for exam 6 on Friday the 10th. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you I can finish grading your individual test by Friday the 10th, but you don't need that to study for the final. Just look at the solutions video, and there we go. And again, there's my office hours, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8:10 to 10. I'm obligated to say it, so I've said it, and there it is. If you really want to come, it's a different Zoom session, so you'll have to email me for the link. But basically, you can just email me anytime, and that will be that. Okay, so I'm going to lecture a very short time, okay, and then I'll open it up to any questions you might have. So if you have any questions you want to ask from anything here, you may, or you can start putting them in the chat. Let me finish what I was going to do. It's going to be very fast. Okay, 6.4, number 7. Question about that. So let me go back to that. So 9y squared minus 18y minus 4x squared equals 27. First factor out the 9 here. Y squared minus 2y. There is no y, there's no x term, so I don't have to complete the square on the x. Just leave it alone. Now let's say this had also a, I don't know, 12x. Then I'd have to factor out for the x's also, but no need to. Only for the y. So 9 times y squared minus 2y. So that's the same as that, right? 9y squared minus 18y minus 4x squared equals 27. Now I complete the square. Half the coefficient of y and square it. Half of -2 is -1. -1 squared is 1. Add 1 here, but because of the distributive property, that's actually adding 9. So the right-hand side is 36. This factors in a 9 times y minus 1 squared over 36 minus 4x squared equals 36. Right-hand side is supposed to be 1, so divide everything by 36. Y squared minus 1 over 4 minus x squared over 9 equals 1. Okay. This tells me the center is 0, 1. There's a negative, so it's a hyperbola. Y is positive, x is negative, so that tells me the graph is going to go up and down. A is the square root of this number, which is 2. B is the square root of this number, which is 3. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 4 plus 9 is C squared. C squared is 13. C equals radical 13, which is roughly 3.6. So here we go. Center was at 0, 1. I go 2 units up and down. So my vertices are 0, 3, and 0, negative 1. I go 3 units left and right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I didn't bother to label these points. They don't have any special names anyway. Draw my box, connect the diagonals. Since it's the vertical type of hyperbola, I take these 2 points, curve them toward the asymptotes. If x came first and y second, I would take these 2 points and curve them toward the asymptotes. Okay, foci are 0, 1 plus radical 13 and 0, 1 minus radical 13. That's how you write them as exact values. Okay, so again, on the exam, I want you to be able to give me exact values for everything. Okay, you can use a decimal approximation if you wish, but I must at least see the exact value. So all throughout the course, exact value means leave square root as square root, leave e as e, ln as ln, pi as pi, stuff like that. Okay, what's the slope? Well, it's over 3 up 2. Rise over the run is 2/3. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus 1 equals 2/3 x minus 0. And this asymptote is exactly the same thing, except it's a negative 2/3. Y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 parentheses x minus 0. Okay, then let's see. The question, go back to 13 on the parametric equation problem, 6.7. Okay, we've already tackled it, but wanted to rehash that. So x is t, y equals t squared. Can I get rid of the t in A, B, C, and D, right? Well, since t and x are the same, just change that to x, y equals x squared. There we go. B, x equals t squared, y equals t. Can I get rid of t? Sure, since y and t are the same, just make that a y, x equals y squared. And I recognize that as a parabola opening to the right. And then C and D are slightly tricky. X equals t squared, y equals t to the 4th. Okay, before going on, I recognize that x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0. If I plug in any real number for t, for both x and y, this isn't going to be negative. This isn't going to be negative. So I'm restricted to first quadrant and the origin, as it turns out. Okay, so the trick for this particular problem is to write t to the 4th as t squared squared. And the reason why you want t squared squared is I recognize that t squared is x. So put that right there, and it says y equals x squared. Okay, but I don't draw the entire parabola. Unlike this one, I do have a restriction, right? Since we already said x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0, this part of the parabola in quadrant 2 disappears. So I only have the part from the origin and on. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the arrows. As time increases, at 0, I'm at the origin, and at 1, I'm at 1, 1, so it's going this way. Okay, so if you ask, how do I know which way the graph is going? Is it going that way, left to right, or right to left, or up and down? Plug in t equals 0 and t equals 1. Okay, so that's increasing. For trig functions, it might be better to plug in 0 and pi over 2. 1 is not comfortable. You know, I don't know what's the sine of 1 radian or the cosine of 1 radian, so maybe pi over 2 is better. And yeah, this one, if t is 0, you're at the origin. If t is 1, you're at 1, 1, so it's going this way. And this one, if you plug in 0, you're at the origin. If you plug in 1, it's 1, 1, so yeah, it's going this way. And finally, the reverse, D as in dog, x equals t to the fourth, y equals t squared. Once again, x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0. So rewrite t to the fourth, x equals t squared squared. Okay, sorry for all these other stray marks here, but t squared is now y. That's y. So x equals y squared. And once again, x equals y squared, I recognize as a parabola opening to the right. But because x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0, I only have first quadrant and the origin. And the arrow is going this way, again, because if I plug in 0, I'm at 0, 0. If I plug in 1, I'm at 1, 1. So it's going like that. Okay, and I'm actually already done, folks. I am going to sneak in 6.219, which I decided to throw out, which means you don't have to pay attention right now. Okay, but some of you, in case you're wondering, oh, how do I do 6.219? I will not ask you this question on the test. I will not ask you this question on the final. It's different. Okay, but some of you just out of curiosity wanted to see how it's done. So 6.219, they gave me this picture where this is 2, this is P. So this is the ordered pair 2 comma P. It's opening upward. That means it's x squared equals 4py. Now I plug in 2 right here, plug in P over here. This is the point 2 comma P, right? 2 squared is 4. So 4 equals 4 times P times another P is P squared. Divided by 4, P squared is 1. So P is 1. So since P is 1, x squared equals 4py just becomes x squared equals 4y. And that's it. Okay, so for those of you who really just gotta know how 6.219 works, there it was, but I'm not gonna ask you this. So, if you wanna just block this from, thinking about it, you're certainly allowed to. Okay. All right, and I am formally finished, folks, and congratulations, you've made it through pre-calc, covered all the material that I'm supposed to, so I have no more lectures, no more material. Ordinarily, if I finish early before a test, I would say, okay, I'm going to get started with another section. Well, there is no more sections, so we're done. So all we have left are exam 6 tomorrow and final exam on Monday. And that's pretty much about it for the course, folks. And then you pass this class, hopefully you're all good to go for calculus. And I know some of you have already started to register for calculus next semester. And this course hopefully prepares you for Calc 1 when you sign up for Math 251 next semester, right? Okay, so I'm actually finished, folks. It's only 9:20 something, but let me check the chat on something. Are there any professors you can recommend for calculus? Okay, I haven't seen the schedule. You can, if you want, you can send me an email about that. Yeah, I don't know offhand who's teaching. I know I'm not next semester. Yeah. Okay, so let me stop here. Check the chat. Okay. All right, so I see some of you putting some recommendations in the chat. Okay, and yeah, it's kind of hard for me. As you probably know, teachers don't want to throw other teachers under the bus, so to speak. So yeah, it might be a good idea to get reviews or ask other students for their opinions. Another thing that's unfortunate is, even though I know all of my colleagues, it's weird, but we don't really see each other teach that much, right? Because we're always teaching, right? So since we don't get to see each other that much, yeah, you might be better off asking other students, for teachers for calc or whatever. I think that goes for all classes, not just for math, but for, who's a good English teacher, who's a good history teacher, it's hard to ask other teachers because we don't like to say bad stuff about our colleagues, obviously. And not only that, like I said, we don't see each other teach that much because we're busy teaching ourselves. Then once in a while, when we were meeting on campus, sure, I would stop by and just take a peek and see what this teacher is doing or what that teacher is doing or whatnot. But now that we're not even doing that, we're not even on campus, then that's even so much more so. Okay, so
wait, we're not on campus? Like, I saw a lot of the classes where I had like room numbers.
yeah, I was talking about this semester.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, next semester, some classes are on campus, some aren't. So check the schedule. We're bringing more classes back face to face, but some are, some aren't. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I can't read the chat and look at the shared screen at the same time. So let me go here and check the chat. Okay, any questions, folks? Otherwise, we're done. You can start sending in your homework, prepare for the test. As soon as the test is over, start preparing for the final, which is Monday. Friday, you can show up or not. If you want to ask stuff, you may. Let's just make it into an office hour. Okay, so that's that. Any other questions, please? Otherwise, we're going to end early and that'll be it.
Wait, so you're not going to be going over material Friday? You're just going to be for questions?
For Friday, yeah, there is no new material. So rather than lecturing, it doesn't make sense to lecture. I'll leave you to ask questions if you have any questions.
Okay.
Okay, anything else, please? All right, that's it, folks. So have a good rest of the day. See you for the test tomorrow. Okay, all
Thank
right,
you.
bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye.